What a fantastic weekend for sports altogether. A thrilling United Arsenal match, then an India Pakistan match, which was absolute down to the last or second last ball, and then a very dramatic Zandvoort Dutch Grand Prix. Let's talk about the last one. I think there are no surprises here when I say Max Verstappen is constant number one. लास्ट ईयर हमने मैक्स की लुइस के साथ टाइटल फाइट देखी थी, बट इस साल हमें मैक्स की चैंपियनशिप डोमिनेंस देखने मिल रही है. Absolute dominant performance is what justifies the whole weekend for Max and Red Bull. वो जो भी करते हैं वो एकदम ठीक बैठता है. किसी भी टीम के अगेंस्ट वो उस वीकेंड के अंदर आगे पीछे लड़ रहे हो, बट जीतते हमेशा मैक्स ही हैं. With 7 more races to go, Max has already won 10 races, which equals his record of the last year when he won the title championship. इस वीकेंड हमें मैक्स एंड मर्सिडीज की लड़ाई देखने मिली, जब मैक्स ने चार्ल्स को क्वालिफाइंग के अंदर बहुत थिन मार्जिन से हरा दिया. इस वीकेंड मैक्स की स्पीड के आड़े कोई नहीं आ पाया. मर्सिडीज जैसा कि एक सिंगल स्टॉप स्ट्रैटेजी पे थी और मैक्स जैसे डबल स्टॉप स्ट्रैटेजी पे थे, सेफ्टी कार अगर नहीं भी होती तब भी मैक्स मर्सिडीज को आराम से ओवरटेक कर लेते. मैक्स एंड रेड बुल की स्ट्रैटेजी एब्सोल्युटली ऑन पॉइंट थी जब उन्होंने वर्चुअल सेफ्टी कार में और सेफ्टी कार में दोनों में पिट किया. सेफ्टी कार एंड होने के बाद में जब उनकी फाइट हुई लुइस के साथ में, तब एब्सोल्युटली मैक्स ही डोमिनेट होने वाले थे, क्योंकि एक तो उनके पास बेहतर कार थी और फ्रेशर टायर्स थे. तो उन्होंने ऐसे कोई कोताही नहीं बरती, ऐसा कोई स्टोन अनटर्न नहीं छोड़ा जिसके कारण वो रेस हार जाए या फिर सेकंड भी आ जाए. दे वर एब्सोल्युटली डोमिनेंट इन ऑल देयर परफॉर्मेंसेस. Second, I think Mercedes' performance was absolute winner in the race as well. When we saw in the starting of the season, Mercedes was lagging behind because of the development of the car और etc. aerodynamics के जो changes आए हैं इस साल से, Mercedes उसके अंदर पिछड़ रही थी. बट अब हम देख पा रहे हैं कि Mercedes is absolutely back, especially after the Hungarian Grand Prix. जो उनके upgrades आए हैं वो काफी कारगर हैं. Then I think Mercedes is a fantastic car setup, especially for these hard tires. Everybody else was struggling on these hards, but when Mercedes showed their pace on the hards, it was one of the quickest on the grid. But I think the showstopper was their strategy and the courage of doing so. Mercedes didn't have the race pace. They were behind Red Bull in the race pace, and they were behind Red Bull and Ferrari in the qualifying pace. But I think these are the strategies and the bold moves that will bring Mercedes back into race winning positions. The cooler condition of the track helped them and their one-stop strategy. If they would not have been a VSC or would have never been a safety car on a hindsight, we could have absolutely seen Mercedes probably having 1 and 2 or probably second and third behind Max. The slightest points a person can take out of Mercedes' strategy this time will be probably the desperation that they showed by keeping Lewis out in the safety car and not asking him to come and pit for the softs. Though that was the only thing. Plus, I think also because of Lewis's heated radio messages to the team helped ignite the fuel on this thing. But I think it will not be a controversy. Even after the race, Lewis was gracious enough and he came forward and said everything was fantastic and fine. Even he appreciated the double stacking, and it was a very good double stacking. It was Lewis's pit stop was I think 2.5 and Russell's was 3.5, which is okay under a safety car. The next winner is not probably a person or a team. Formula One altogether is a winner for me. बिकॉज जिस कंडीशन पे जो अपग्रेड्स फॉर्मूला वन ने अपनी गाड़ियों को इस साल दिए हैं, प्लस जो अपग्रेडेड सर्किट्स हैं, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल ज़ैनबॉट इटसेल्फ. अर्ली टाइम्स के अंदर जब हम देखते थे कि ये जो सरप्राइजेस होते थे, फॉर एग्जांपल क्वालिफाइंग के अंदर लांस स्ट्रोल, यूकी त्सुनोडा एंड मिक शूमाकर Q3 में पहुंचे, ऐसे सरप्राइजेस बहुत कम होते थे. बट इस साल के नए रेगुलेशन के साथ में वी कैन एब्सोल्युटली सी दैट दीज कार्स आर परफॉर्मिंग एट अ वेरी हाई लेवल. People down the grid also sometimes come in. Approximately every single race we can see a shocker. This weekend, I guess the good qualifying position or the shocker qualifying position of Lance, Yuki and Mick, only Lance could convert into a race points, where Yuki had to stop because of the technical failures, and Mick had a bad pit stop, the first one. But after that, Lance was literally a shocker for me. Even if we talk about teams like Alpine, we could see that Alpine not having a good or a very disappointing qualifying on the Saturday. But in the race, they finished P6 and P8, which was very good to see. The close driving conditions of these cars helped Alpine overtake so many people from a P13, a disappointing qualification of P13. Fernando Alonso closed the race with P6. And that too on a squeezed up racetrack like Zandvoort, where overtaking is very difficult, just like Monaco. And there is almost just one position in or one turn, I would say, where people can easily overtake is the turn one because of the extended DRS of turn 14 to turn one, the start and stop straight. Plus, it's very interesting to see the driver's position being switched in the championship ladder. Though not the first one, but the second one, where Perez was ahead of Leclerc going into this weekend. But now Perez and Leclerc are absolutely leveled in second position with 201 points. Race winners के बाद थोड़ी बातें रेस लूजर्स की भी कर लेते हैं. फरारी एक सेल्फ डिस्ट्रक्ट मोड पे है, जो सब कुछ ही खो देना चाहती है. मतलब इतनी एक्सपेक्टेशन हम फैंस की लगाते ही क्यों है, हम हमारी ही गलती है शायद. अब तो बहुतों ने छोड़ भी दी होगी उम्मीदें. बट फरारी को रेस ट्रैक पे देख के पता नहीं कुछ होता है और ऐसा लगता है कि काश वो आज तो गलती ना करे, बट ऐसा तो होगा नहीं. पिट स्टॉप पे मैकेनिक्स का काम क्या है? 4 टायर लाके उनको लगाना. आई अंडरस्टैंड इट्स क्वाइट डिफिकल्ट जॉब एंड आई प्रोबेबली कांट डू इट, बट दैट्स देयर होल जॉब. I mean, it's the first time to see anybody bringing just 3, not the 4th tire. Even after that, the errors that they're doing with the wheel gun, I'm sure they're gonna line up some penalty or some licensing fees, etc., because of this. Then there was an unsafe release of Carlos Sainz, which resulted in 5-second penalty from then him dropping from 5th position to 8th position. I think it's quite unfortunate to see them on this position. मतलब मैंने लास्ट टाइम भी बहुत बातें कर ली थी इस बारे में, एंड आई थिंक वी कैन 7 जो रेसेस बची हैं उसके अंदर कुछ ना कुछ हम देखते ही रहेंगे. So let's not turn off the happy part of the weekend into a bad part because of just Ferrari. But I think something has to be changed, especially now outrightly Binotto has been saying this, that yes, they are in a mess. Yes, they created a mess, especially after the 12-second pit stop of Carlos Sainz. But even after that, there's something has to be changed. There's a blog on Formula One itself. There was an interview that Binotto took part in. So he's now open about it. At least is accepting the problems that there are, which is a first sign of relief for Ferrari fans. Then the last person I want to talk about in this video is Daniel Ricciardo. He is a race loser. I mean, Daniel Ricciardo finished in penultimate position, which is 17th, because Yuki and Bottas didn't finish the race, and he finished just above Latifi. We can see his silent exit from McLaren, but it's not right on some parts. It doesn't feel right on some parts, where because Ricciardo is a fantastic driver. McLaren is a good team. I mean, even after getting handicapped by Ricciardo and his race pace, they're still somewhere in the mix with Alpine. So it's just Lando Norris competing with the whole Alpine team is what we can see. But they're still in the mix. If there would have been Ricciardo's help, Alpine would be far below McLaren. It looks like he has admitted defeat, where we can see one McLaren fighting for the best of the rest, Lando finishing qualifying in best of the rest position, and he's starting and finishing the race at P7, and then Ricciardo finishing at P17. This is absolutely two sides of a coin. Doesn't feel right. There is something that probably is wrong with the car or wrong with the person, or there has to be. Anyways, what ends well is well. Piastri is anyways coming the next year, but it will be very interesting to see where Ricciardo goes, because in the race of Alpine's seat, we can see Gasly is more appreciated, has been more looked upon than Ricciardo itself. What Ricciardo's race finishing position shows is that even Alpine would not want to pick him up. Why is he doing it to himself? If there's something wrong, McLaren needs to take care of it, and Ricciardo needs to buck up and pull up his socks and do some good work, or else a Haas would be the only option if he wants to stay at in Formula One, and it will be heartbreaking to see Ricciardo's caliber driver in a Haas. But that's the reality, guys. What we can do about it? Nothing. That wraps up the entire race. The next one is Monza this weekend. It's called Temple of Speed for a reason, and we'll talk about it in the next video. Please like if you like the video. Please subscribe if you like seeing my videos, and share it with your friends as well. See you in the next one. Until then, please take care of yourself.